Welcome to Bullish and Beyond. It's Beery the Bull. I'm your AI co-host. Join myself, Brian the MacMan, and JT Knows Things while we dive deep into the world of stocks, crypto, and how to live a bullish life. It's time to get bullish, and there's no better place to start than right here. Let's dive in.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Bullish and Beyond. We are bullish about all things stock, crypto, and life. I love bringing you all the latest ideas about the hot stocks, and JT is bringing you all the awesome thoughts about crypto. And today we have some blood in the streets. Stocks and crypto moving to the downside. There is one shining light in the public stock market that I saw, and it's BYND Meats. I don't know that this is a long-term purchase, but wow, the action is crazy. The volume is up 10,000% on this stock, and it's up 800% this week.
I literally just read a headline that it was down 99.7% from its peak.
And
I just read that.
I actually owned it. I owned it forever ago, and I sold it. Yeah, I lost some, not the 99%, maybe down 30% or something like that. But then, it was below $1. It was around 78 cents. And, they got one piece of positive news about getting into Walmart, but it became a pure meme play. And when I say meme, it got added to the fund with the ticker meme, M-E-M-E, meme. It is a pure meme play. This is speculative. Do not buy this for your retirement accounts. This is not a long-term hold. But wow, check it out. The market action is wild.
I think this is crazy. It's almost like all the Gen Zers in crypto have just gotten a little bit of adult money, and they would like to play their meme games with their 401k in addition to their betting money. This is crazy. It reminds me of GameStop, gives me all that fervor. And I have two things about that. The same kind of stuff was happening when gold peaked back in the previous crypto cycle. One of the markers for Bitcoin,
there was memes back then.
Rise. Yeah, it was NFTs.
Okay.
Right? GameStop happened, then NFTs happened. That all happened while gold was peaking, and Bitcoin and the bull market had this catastrophic, meteoric rise. And then secondly, the long-term perspective of Beyond Meat is rough. It's looking brutal for them. I mean, I don't even know.
It's not good.
Walmart even issued a letter that they're not going to accept products with red dye 40, yellow dye 3, a whole host of things that have been proven to give children autism, obesity even. You can eat the same foods in Italy and lose weight. That is strange, right? There's all these toxins in our
these
food.
dyes cause us cancer and all of our crap in our food that, is unregulated. So hopefully the U.S. RFK, we're getting a hold of this now. One shining light that Europe has is they do have higher food quality standards. I don't know why the U.S. is so behind the train here.
It's not even that we're behind the train, dude. The same companies will sell the same products with completely different ingredients to different markets, not for flavor, but for margin. And it comes at the cost of our health. It just does. So when RFK was elected, not even elected, appointed by Trump after Trump was elected.
Right.
He was put in charge of HHS, Health and Human Services. It is the CEO of everything health. So the ADA, right, or the USDA, the ADA, the disability stuff. You have
FDA.
FDA, thank you. And then the regulatory body. Oh, FDA does the drugs too. So everything for health and human services is under RFK. And just like Trump, he has this Make America Healthy Again, MAHA instead of MAGA. And he is
I can get behind that.
100%. He's taking the nutritional guidelines that are over 1,000 pages, turning it into a 5-page piece of paper. He is axing the bureaucracy. He's letting go of tens of thousands.
Hopefully flipping it on his head, too. I mean, a lot of the stuff that, unfortunately, we learned growing up is completely wrong. The food pyramid is made up by someone trying to make money. It's not how we ate as our ancestors didn't eat like that.
Yeah, the American Diabetes Association, right? On their website, until he got elected, their recommended breakfast was oatmeal, milk, all cereal, even sugar. They're
God,
literally recommending
it
to
should be
you,
protein and fat.
but hey, if you do that, you're not going to buy our insulin. You're not going to buy it. You're
Yeah.
just not. So, like, why would I tell you this, to help you stop needing my drugs? The incentives are against you. Show me the incentives, I'll show you the outcome. That is the number one rule of economics policy. It's a logical deduction of incentives and outcomes. And the drugs, the food people,
And
all
companies
those
are incentivized to
corporations,
make money.
right? They're
But I'm not
incentivized to
recommending those
increase
companies like
shareholder
General
value.
Mills. I'm not recommending those firms. Their stocks are, trash. Look at some 5-year records of these cereal
I wouldn't either.
companies and
Wouldn't
compare
either.
those to some AI tech. I'll pass.
Especially when you learn that all those guys are owned by tobacco companies.
Oh yeah. No, that is interesting.
Yeah, you wonder why there's all these addiction issues with food in
They
America
got they
compared
got to
to
get their
elsewhere.
poison in Americans somehow.
They figured out to add just like in cigarettes. There's over 200 things plus tobacco in a cigarette. There's over 50 things in your food that get you hooked, that get you sick. So you just stay on the wheel that they've
It's
created.
rough.
That's the incentive. So that's the outcome. And RFK is changing the incentives. If you do that shit with him, he will all day he'll be outside your building with Congress. Like he will take you to court. He is
Well, and it's
ready.
cool. Companies like Walmart, like you said, they're banning it at the company level as
Yes.
well, which we need to. And obviously, Walmart has a massive distribution. So yeah, I mean, you see that like at Whole Foods, for example. There's the printing on the bag. It says, what's not in your bag is what we're selling. There's 300 ingredients that are banned, and you can still get sugar in your food and stuff like that. But they're banning things that are notoriously known to harm us.
Right. Yeah, they're just saying, hey, aspartame gives pregnant women, your children, a way higher likelihood of being autistic. So we don't sell aspartame. You can get regular sugar in your drinks if you want that. Like the unhealthy stuff used to just like we've created these chemicals that kill us slowly compared to just having that treat that used to just be bad for you but still healthy, right?
Yeah,
Like you might spike your
it
insulin
had
and
sugar, but no additives beyond that.
yeah, you're not getting cancer because of it.
If you smoked 100 years ago, it was tobacco, but it was only tobacco.
Right. That was it. Yeah.
That was it.
Dudes would just literally tear it up with their hands and roll it in paper. Like,
Right.
it's crazy to see how far we've come. And Beyond Meat, circling back, all of that progress we're making with that movement, all of their food is chemicals. Like, they are 3D printing meat. It's nothing but lab grown,
The
lab
3D
made.
printed meat is different, just to clarify. Theirs is not real meat. I mean, it's like pea protein and like oils and stuff like that. I think one of the biggest problems is it's so oil based, and I'm not looking at the packaging right now, so I can't be certain. But it's a seed oil, if I had to remember. I think it's like a canola oil or something like that. It's not coconut oil. So it's not good for you.
No, it's actually it is engine motor. The history of this is super interesting. So you got the oil business, right? They started recognizing that the oil, the byproducts you could make, and you can still go look this up. I'm an oil investor now, so I did my research. It's super interesting. Only 40% of oil is used for gas, right?
That's crazy.
Chemicals is 30%.
Wow. We're just drinking
Food,
it and eating it.
yeah, yeah. So and then that like the capsule for the drugs,
But yeah.
that's oil, right?
Yep.
And then polymers to bind agents come from oil as well.
Sure.
So oil got into the drug business. Then in around the 40s, they got into the food business, creating all these cooking oils and things from oil from the earth. And then, they just keep increasing it. Now oil is in literally everything from the threads in this, like polyester, that's oil. It's all literally in everything we have. And Think about the oil it takes to get it there. Like you start doing, it's pretty crazy. But they actually have a stranglehold on all of this, and they've just infiltrated these systems by creating these products that these
They're
companies
trying to create more demand for their oil.
Yeah, like
This is
if I
back,
came
back
to
to
you,
incentives. They're trying to make money.
right? I invent high fructose corn syrup. I'm like, hey, do you want to save 30% per gram on every product you make and actually increase the flavor, make it taste better, make it more shelf stable so
I
you
mean,
can have it on shelves
you
longer?
basically have to if you're not looking at the health and you're just looking at profitability as a board or as a person doing supply chain. Answer is yes.
Incentives and outcomes. That's right. And they're getting, this is another thing, but food, if you pay attention over the years, there's this guy on YouTube. He shows the weight of food products. So not only are they making the food like worse for you, so you're addicted to it and it lasts longer and all that stuff, they're growing GMOs and they're also reducing how much you get for the same price to keep their prices the same. Bags of chips used to be 500 grams. They're now 280 grams.
They're half empty now.
It's just air. They literally are half air. As an example, cereal boxes, same thing. Like, they're just crafty and they think we're fools.
There's so much waste when it comes to that. Like you see the packaging of food and it's nothing even half the package. It's just to look better on the shelf. And I understand the eyeball effect, trying to get the consumer to see it when you're walking by. But it's such a waste.
And how does Beyond Meat function in this new environment? They're not open to international.
It's a short term. I mean, I don't know if it's going to go up again. It's up 75% today, so I'm not saying to short it this minute. But it seems like it'd be a good short long term. It might move against you.
I'd put a 12-month short in and give me some decent margin on it. That way, it can do its stupid GameStop stuff. That might be what we're seeing. This could be a short squeeze. Who doesn't short Beyond Meat?
Well, it had to be because it was,
how could you not?
Well, that and they were raising, more funds in debt vehicles because they were, tanking and had no cash. So, I mean, they were worth a couple $100 million 4 days ago. Now they're worth $2 billion. So, yeah, they needed. They were about to go under. It almost looked like. So they were probably being shorted like crazy. It has to be. They had to have been.
Probably, I don't pay attention to the equities, but I would love to see where the price started and time it with RFK's appointment, because I have to imagine that is their biggest problem. Like, they literally put so much oil and dye in their food.
Yeah.
To make a burger look like a burger that isn't cow meat. Like, it's gross what they do.
All right, so taking a little pivot, we're talking about these meme trades. One place where a lot of the meme trade is going on is Robinhood. And I want to let the listeners know there's another reason to be bullish about Robinhood. BlackRock, one of the biggest investors in the world, they just announced on their quarterly report that they increased their position just recently by 40% in Robinhood. Wow. This is the number one company investor out there, besides like Vanguard. So, it's absolutely wild to increase the position by 40%. That is conviction, and I am bullish for that reason.
I think I absolutely love it, and I have a strong suspicion it is because their CEO, Larry Fink, has only been saying for the past 2 years, everything in the world will be tokenized.
Yep.
And you have Robinhood first to market with tokenized securities.
Yes.
They bought the largest exchange in Europe a year and a half ago called Bitstamp. And now they have they've basically acquired all the components they need for tokenizing. Well, I would say distributing tokenized equities and anything else you tokenize over time. If they already developed that channel, their distribution is insane. And I think that's why, BlackRock is taking such an interest, because when you have a network effect, distribution is the only thing that affects your scale. Right?
And they have it. They're ready to scale.
They got
as long as Amazon AWS is working, because on Monday,
that's right,
AWS was down, and a few big companies like Coinbase and Robinhood it technically was functioning. There was an error when I opened my Robinhood app. I still made a trade in there, but there was some portions of the app that were not functioning properly. So it's pretty scary that the world's backbone of internet is, reliant on something like an AWS.
I loved it because it showed how fragile centralized systems actually are.
More reason for blockchain.
I sound like a crazy guy until CrowdStrike happened. I was in an airport when that happened. Couldn't see my flight.
Oh, wow.
Right? Literally over 1 million customers.
If those airlines just used Apple computers, bought themselves some nice Macs instead, they wouldn't have had a problem either.
Right? There's the Apple Play. You always are looking for
Well, you
Apple.
literally can't get to that kernel of the operating system. It's not even physically possible. No one can. I mean, someone at Apple could. But in general, the Windows operating system opens it up. So that was the issue there. But I think you are incredibly smart for talking about these decentralized networks for that exact reason.
Yeah.
They have 51% of the users making changes for anything to go awry. And, that's not really going to happen when you have millions of users.
Right. In an AWS's situation or CrowdStrike's situation, if I were to disrupt the connection to a server that is running your enterprise hosting, as an example, where everyone eventually ends up, that's like almost, that bridge to Manhattan, there's like 3 of them. If you were to get rid of all 3 of those, people are trapped on that island. I mean, they got to swim. Right? So they're done. Right?
Be a long line for the ferry that day.
Yeah, 100%. So it's the exact same thing. What had happened is whatever server that is responsible for the processing of external links. So whatever was broken in Robinhood are the services that they had hosted on Amazon. That endpoint went down. So when you can't even access the URL, you can't. It's basically giving you an internal server error 500. It doesn't exist.
And they're so big, clearly they have more than one node and, multiple backup sites there. But even with the redundancy that I'm sure that they have, it still had issues. And Coinbase too. I mean, Coinbase is a $300 billion company. We're not talking about small players here.
No, it's because they're a client of Amazon.
I know.
Everything is centralized. It all rolls up to Amazon.
I think Amazon actually went up that day too, oddly enough, the stock, and it was up a bunch yesterday for something.
I guess people were hoping for a dip. They're like, I just want to buy it. I guess. I don't know. That's crazy.
All news is good news.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. If Coinbase was completely on Ethereum and not the government's internet, this couldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. It's impossible to happen. 100% liveness in 14 years. 100%. Amazon can't
as
say
companies
that.
move towards Ethereum, are they going to need Link to get on there?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, all of their data is stuck in the same architecture, and if you want it to work, you couldn't even move onto Ethereum without it.
Okay.
You could.
We talked about Link a lot, and we heard last night that Chainlink CEO was in the room when they were talking about using Link for Polymarket, the big betting site. So it seemed like it'd be a good time to pick up some more Link. It's down since last night. I bought a few more Links, but it seems like a good long-term play.
People are just sleeping on it's really hard to get data on how much value is transacted through APIs. But I spent a lot of time. I am very confident it's somewhere between 3 and 4 trillion. And Link, the way it works,
daily or annually?
Annual. It's as big as oil. Data.
Okay.
The data business is roughly the size of oil. And the way you buy data, let's say, Brian, you have a satellite in the sky and you spent $20-30 million getting it up there, and all it does is shoot LiDAR.
And we use Rocket Lab to get it up there, just to clarify.
Yeah, we use Rocket Lab to get it up there. You paid them $10 million. You need another 10 mil to build the thing. And now you got to recoup 20 million bucks. But what you get for that satellite is it is pinging the Earth with LiDAR every 20 minutes, and it is locating deposits for oil for people to go drill, or at least to go inspect. If the oil guy wants to know what's going on there, he can pay $10,000 per query of the Earth. Every rendering you create, he could pay 10 grand just to look at it. That's an API that allows all that to happen. So the
Yeah.
API stands between the data collector and the data consumer, right? That's also how companies recoup their investment with their data. Okay.
Absolutely.
So, and that's how it works right now. In Web3, let's say you're that oil guy and you wanted to move your oil business into Ethereum and you wanted to record the oil stores, meaning this well is 15% depleted, and you wanted that to be reflected in the equity of the token. Ethereum does not know what the hell that even is. It does not know that you're an oil guy unless you tell it. It does not know that you sell oil unless you tell it. It does not know how much oil you have unless you tell it. The only way to tell Ethereum that you have that stuff is through Chainlink. It's the only interpreter. It's the API between all that data.
The Oracle.
Yeah, and that's called an oracle. And what it does is it automates the data collector and the data consumer, or the data provider and the data consumer. So if you're that satellite company with Chainlink and you
I mean, it
sell
seems so obvious then that we're going to need way more of that. I mean, especially as,
Right.
you know, robots and other AI agents come online and they want access to data like, you know, infinitely faster than we can consume it. It seems like it'd
100%.
be being pinged constantly.
Yeah, and there's two things that are super critical. One, business for the satellite doesn't need to end. It still sells its data the way it was through APIs. It can now just plug into an Oracle and sell the data to all of the Web3 developers. So it's a new market. It's more revenue for the same exact thing, right? And then additionally, right now, as it is, every app like Polymarket, that's an app, requires 12 oracles. That's called a network effect, right? You get one customer, it needs a lot of different oracle networks. And guess what happens when you use 12 oracles? Whoever made that oracle and supplies the data for that oracle is getting paid if you use it. And it's
Makes
all
sense.
done in Link. It's all done in Link. So
All
like
Link.
if I have proprietary data that I want to retain ownership of, but basically make income on, I can spin it up in an Oracle, automate it, and get paid in Link doing nothing. And then the
more
developer,
Link to come then.
right? I love it. And then on the developer side, all they got to do is buy a bag of Link, put it in a wallet, and forget about it, and they get the data per the
Cool.
contract rules. It's great.
And when we're launching
And it-
more satellites to go collect that data, we're going to see way more Rocket Lab. You know, hit a high the other day. It's down a little bit from that. But another piece of news I saw that was interesting, kind of indirectly related to Rocket Lab, is that the head of NASA said they might cut SpaceX's contract for this moon lander. That's like a $3 billion contract. And they're not cutting it yet, but they said that SpaceX is behind schedule and that Elon Musk should get his shit together. He's working on a few things, so I'm not surprised he's behind on one of them. He's behind on a few. But,
Yeah.
you know, it potentially it could be a Rocket Lab project. And so if it goes back to bid, you know, Rocket Lab's the number 2 space company in the entire world. So they'd have a great shot on landing this. And this is not an expertise. I'm not saying they're going to get it or anything like that. It's just that they would certainly be in the running. And I'm not sure who else, you know, even would be bidding on something like that.
Well, they won't give it to a foreign party.
No. Yeah, it's got to be a U.S. company, I would think.
Amazon has their own space, you know, but they're nowhere near Rocket Labs. Not for this kind of task.
I don't think so either.
I have an alternative perspective. Maybe no one gets it if this shutdown persists.
That's interesting. It's true.
You know, it could be Well, I don't know. I don't think they would lie about that. And for everyone's willing to blame the shutdown for all of their woes. It's a great excuse. But in general, like that is a real thing impacting the markets. I think it's a strong contributor to the fact that my
Because the markets are down today on basically no news.
right. I think it is the temperature of the room, the environment that these equities and my tokens have to exist in, where it is peak uncertainty right now. Not only do we have an ominous tweet from Trump about China, where it seems like the tariff wars are not over, and
You don't know if he's going to
amidst
meet
all
with
that,
China's president or not. I mean, it's so unclear.
no idea.
Yeah.
And then you have, this shutdown where you have a lot of I'm not saying all, but a decent amount of equities propped up with government contracts, especially with the big beautiful bill. I mean, Trump has promised American corporations over $1 trillion that is now frozen by the Democrats, from what I understand, because there's a deadlock on funding in Congress. They don't have the votes. When that happens for, I think, 2 or 3 meetings, they shut down. So not one individual is willing to come to the other side. And it's primarily around the use of these funds with the big, beautiful bill. So it's
we think of just one
out.
project like Stargate. I mean, that's a $500 billion project. And it's not all government money, but the government's helping pull together. And if no one's working on it, well, it's not coming.
Right. And they've broken ground. There's companies on the hook for that, right? And that's just one project that hit the headlines. There's thousands, I am sure, that they are a part of across all of the things like HHS and the education. And there's so many things that are frozen right now.
I was surprised Palantir is only down a few percent. And, 40% of their revenue is government driven. So kind of surprising that they're, still hanging on to their extreme price ratio given the government shutdown. And, they're so closely connected. There's not many companies that are that in arms, with the government.
Is that alpha for short? Maybe.
Could be. I'm not a person that short stocks or buys puts in general, but it's like those companies are going so hard to the upside. If people don't know, when you short a stock, you can lose an infinite amount of money. If you buy a stock, you only can lose what you invested.
Yeah. It can only get worse.
You have to sign forms to short companies and buy puts. There's unlimited downside.
Unlimited.
Yeah, so it's tough. I mean, Palantir is up, hundreds of percent. I mean, you're a company like Oklo. I mean, these companies up 1,000% in a year. Yes, they're downtrending right now, but wow, if you got caught holding the bag to the upside, it would be rough.
Dude, and that's why I couldn't imagine being a hedge fund manager just doing my job, finding a clear short, pitching it to my investment counsel, moving 100 million, only 5% of my book that seems reasonable for possibly a 20-point upside. And then some dude named Roaring Kitty with a bandana and cat ears gets over 10 million people to put $100 buys on my short. And now I've lost my company $4 billion. And not only has it happened with GameStop, it's happened with 5 different stocks since then. And it now looks like it's happening to Beyond Meat. Like retail is stealing from the rich with their collectivism. And
it's pretty cool to see.
It's really cool to see. I'm going to be the one guy that's like, I actually feel really bad for the fund managers because that's like an impossible environment to navigate in. And also, I do
and I don't. Don't fight the public. I mean,
it is the game they're playing.
I know. They're only playing. They're purposely playing against the funds. So if the funds know that, they could be a part of the retail game.
Insert meme fund, right?
Exactly. That's why Roundhill brought back the meme fund.
Yeah. Like insert
it was
that.
It was up a bunch yesterday with the Beyond Meat edition.
Yeah. They basically just pull all the memes in there and they're like, hey, funds, you can buy this and then you can lever that against your shorts just in case, right? Like go 2x long on meme and then short like your job depends on it. And then either way, you're good.
Crazy.
But so it's interesting, and this retail rally that we're seeing in equities, I have to believe that that is just more signal that people on the internet feel closer to one another, and that to me means blockchain is just closer than ever. Like, that is crypto. For people that don't know, for the entirety of crypto, it has been collectivism. It is, hey, we all own this.
Yep.
When you buy the token, you are an owner in this thing, and then anyone else in the world can build something on that thing to make your equity worth more when you did nothing. Think about that. It is open sourced. It is safe. It is secure. You can put your entire bank account on the internet and know that it will never be touched. So we can trust each other with our equity now.
That's pretty cool.
And the fact that we're already seeing that trust bridged in the traditional markets, I think it's just
Only time.
It's just a glaring signal of a paradigm shift with this new generation that I'm so excited to be a part of. I love seeing it. I do have a little bit of sympathy for the fund managers. I watched that Netflix show, and
I did too.
I actually was feeling it for them. I know I shouldn't. I know the internet would hate me for that, but I got to go on record and say I do feel bad for the fund managers. Like, I would feel awful if that happened. It's why I don't put in shorts.
At the same time, retail investors have had the hood pulled over them, many times by big institutions. So
I wouldn't do that though. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy.
I know you're not. We're talking big money here. We're talking the BlackRocks, the Vanguards.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of a non-meme trade, Apple has been moving sharply to the upside in the last week. And the reason is because iPhone sales were crushing it. The actual report said it's about 14% increase compared to last year. So millions of units more. And, they sold out quickly in China. That was a big positive beat for them there. And apparently everyone's really picking up that the iPhone 17 is a steal, for the price point and what they're offering. So their iPhone 17 production is up, I think 30 or 40% right now. And iPhone 17 Pro also, crushing it. The iPhone Air, not quite as hot of a seller. It's lesser battery, lesser cameras. People are leaning more towards the 17 and the 17 Pro. I can't blame them there. I'm all about the camera and the battery life. But pretty cool to see Apple hit a brand new high on Monday. Got to 262, and I think it touched 264 on Tuesday morning.
That's awesome.
Crazy. It's still above 260 last time I checked. So yeah, we're in an all new high range right now. Pretty exciting to be an Apple shareholder at the moment.
I would say that's your biggest weight too. That's got to be exciting. That's how I felt when ETH finally recovered. It's my second largest holding, and I held it for 2 years when it's like
doing nothing.
I'm doing literally nothing.
And I sold it right before the big move.
Yeah, and then it cranks up to 4K, and it is treating 4K as support. Like, people are getting
looks like it.
A 4,000 ETH, which is just exciting because my fund was hurting until that happened. Honestly, you have 8% weight in something.
That's why you have conviction and you stay in. I mean, lots of times people don't have the conviction, they don't see the future, and they sell too early.
And I think and this is something I try to hit on in this podcast and in my channels as much as I can, but people really struggle understanding business cycles after a headline. It doesn't, just because you read it in that moment, doesn't mean...
It could take a year or two to play out.
Right. Like, genuinely, years in some situations. Like, cuts don't even hit the market till 60, 90 days after, realistically. Right? Like, you and I texted this, and we didn't talk about it on the previous cast with Brad, which was a great cast, by the way. You all need to check out episode 40.
Episode 40 with Brad Zapp.
But I do think it's important for people to know, when the Fed cuts rates, that means your debt can get cheaper only if you refinance it. But for you to actually refinance it, you need to get approval from your governing board, or, if you're a CEO, you got to go to your board, you got to get approval.
You might wait till the next board meeting. I mean, that could be 30 to 45 days out.
And then you have to get consensus, right? Then you
Yeah.
got to find a vendor. Then you got to go through the paperwork, which can take another 30 days. And then you got to have another 30 days of business where your debt service is to
It
4%.
hits the balance sheet.
Like
So it could be
literally,
3
the
to 6
cycle
months.
could be for
Yeah.
the actual economy to
Yeah.
realize that decision,
Makes
right?
sense.
And people are going to make this. They're not patient, right? They're not going to wait 3 to 6 months.
Patient. Who's patient?
Right. We are, because we're boring and exciting at the same
I'm not
time.
that patient. I mean, I can hold my stock patiently, but I am not patient.
That's
All right.
patience.
And speaking of patience, another play that's going to happen long term is Nvidia. They had a huge piece of positive news, but it will take time for this to be built. Elon Musk, XAI, they just announced they have a huge $20 billion contract they just inked with Nvidia to help fill out their new Colossus 2 data center in Memphis. And I mean, we're talking hundreds of thousands of Blackwell chips. I mean, it is nuts.
That's crazy.
Yes.
And they just dropped the DGX9. I saw that. That's
that mini supercomputer is so sick.
Yeah, it's 4K, and you basically get a robot delivered to you that you can do inference on a trained model in your home. And as a developer, that means the latency is not an issue. You can literally build. And they said it was like, what, it can handle 1 trillion tokens a month or something, like something insane.
I bet.
That you just could put
pretty good price point for the world's smallest supercomputer. $4,000. I saw one of my friends today, John Salisbury. He posted they just bought one at his company to mess around with it. So yeah, really cool to see. And obviously that's just one of many, and it's getting a lot of press right now. Nvidia's CEO is literally hand delivering them to people like Elon Musk and Sam Altman. So it's good, good PR out there. But this is what's going to be the future. Like the fact that Nvidia is spinning up computers now. I mean, they're not competing with Apple and Dell, I don't think. But it's like a new market for them because they never sold that product.
Just wait until that box can be the size of this watch.
I was thinking the exact same thing. That's the year 2030, brother.
It's just in this headphone right here. Right? That it will get there. 30 years of Moore's Law, and we have proven now after 4 years that AI is Moore's Law squared. I could see by 2028 AI making that device the size of a thumbnail. We're in.
Supposedly by the year 2050, there'll be enough energy in 6 grains of sand to power a Tesla. So I mean, you take that Moore's Law squared out a couple decades.
Yeah, I mean, in our lifetime, we'll have people living in space. I believe that. We'll have people living in space. So you could probably get on a space elevator and then go hang out in, the stratosphere, literally, in some rich dude's house.
In the year 2040, we'll be recording podcasts, via satellite, in outer space somewhere.
Yeah, up in the clouds. It'd be sick. Just a cloud passing through my face while I'm outside on my porch.
Hopefully they're green. Hopefully they're green clouds, so we know the crypto market is doing well.
Yeah, exactly. I'll have lights just beaming into the clouds.
This is another reason I'm so pro Rocket Lab. I mean, the future of stuff in space. We're at 0.1%. We're not even at 1% yet. We're not even in the first inning. We're filling the stadium before the batter even hit. I mean, it's wild.
It's crazy. And I watched a video of China designing and proposing space elevators. It was a very cool video.
Really? I haven't seen that.
They want to basically take something up into Earth's orbit, then have astronauts build through the atmosphere to the height where you could build up from the ground, then have cable literally rip you at the speed of a train, essentially, to where you would go all the way up to the station and enter an airlock and be able to live orbiting Earth through this.
Sounds like some cool space tourism.
It's like a tether, and I'm like, does that even work? But everything orbits, like it's no different than the moon. We don't see the dark side because it is rotating at the same speed, right? So you can get it to where it's stable. It's stable the whole time we're spinning at 10,000 miles an hour.
That seems so wild.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the future. I'm bullish for everything to come. So
That's right.
people need to do their own research, first and foremost, on some of these, future thinking ideas we have. Let things play out. Like JT said, they do take time. So give your thesis time to hit home here, and lots of great stuff to come. So thanks for tuning in for another incredible episode of Bullish and Beyond. Come back next week for more bullish ideas. Cheers, everyone.
See everybody.
Bulls. That's a wrap on today's episode of Bullish and Beyond. Remember, the market never sleeps, and neither should your ambitions. Whether it's stocks, crypto, or just leveling up in life, stay focused, stay bullish, and keep charging forward. Keep your energy high and your mindset bullish. This is Beery the Bull, your AI co-host, Brian the Mac Man, and JT Knows Things signing off. All content published by Bullish and Beyond, LLC reflects personal opinions only and is provided for informational purposes. Please conduct your own research and discuss with your accountant and/or financial advisor before making any financial decisions. The information presented should not be taken as financial advice. We are not financial advisors. Nothing you hear, see, or read in our content should be considered as any form of financial, investment, or legal advice, or a solicitation to buy or sell any assets, or to make any financial decisions.